What is up, guys? My name is Nash and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about what can you put on your resume if you don't have any finance experience, right? So this is a common issue that a lot of people face. You're trying to get a finance job or internship, but you don't really have experience to put on your resume that's finance related. This just in turn discourages a lot of people to apply for finance jobs because they feel like they don't have anything to qualify for them, right? So if you were to put someone's resume that's never had a finance job and someone who has had a little bit of exposure to finance, you'd obviously pick someone who's been in finance, right? Who has that experience. So what I want to talk about today, like I said, is going to be what can you put on your resume if you do not have that finance background. So one of the biggest things when it comes to any type of finance job is going to be data entry. There's always going to be a need for people that can do accurate data entry, people that are have experience in data entry, people that are willing to do it. So that is one of the basic things that you can expose yourself to when you're looking to get into finance. All right, so as an example, you might do a data entry in Microsoft Excel or in a different software that the company is going to use, because not every company uses Microsoft Excel, but Microsoft Excel is kind of like the OG that everyone uses, right? They might have an additional software that they use, but they might use Excel to format the data. All right, so this brings me on to the first two things that you can teach yourself and also put those on your resume, which is going to be data entry and Microsoft Excel. So these are things you can learn on your own if you have a computer. You can literally go on the internet and look up Microsoft Excel course, and some are free, some are paid. And one thing I would recommend if you're doing that is to get a certification, because at the end of the day, you're going to need something that's tangible to prove that, you know, you have that certification or you're qualified, right? Microsoft Excel looks intimidating when you start looking at the formulas and stuff like that. But what I've seen is that a lot of these courses have a beginner, intermediate, and an advanced level. So if you want, you can literally take the beginner course and you get a certification, and now you can put that on your resume. Now you have something that's tangible on your resume that's related to finance. And then the second thing is pretty much going to be data entry. You can find a lot of courses on this and you can get a certification. Data entry is pretty much putting data into the computer. You know, I mean, it's self-explanatory. But if you're going to be working this position, it is important to be very accurate, right? In finance, if you mess up, if you add an extra zero or remove a zero, that's going to be a lot of money. You always want to be as close to accurate as possible. So if you take an online course on data entry, you probably learn some things that you didn't know. And now you can include data entry on your resume, and you also have a certification. That's something tangible that you can bring to the interview. Be like, oh, this is my certification in Excel and in data entry. All right, so that's it for those two. And the next thing is going to be if you are in school, if you're in college, high school. I have not been in high school in so many years, but if you are in college, I know there's definitely some business organizations on campus. Definitely join those. Those are going to look really, really good on your resume. So after you join, your goal should be to get a leadership role. And if you're leaning towards finance, I would recommend, becoming the vice president of finance or the treasurer, whatever they have that's related to finance, where you can learn how to manage money, how to communicate with people. Things like that look really good on a resume. It shows that you're able to work with other people and, you can take on responsibility. All right, so last but not least, one of the questions I get a lot is, what if I've worked in retail kind of like my whole life, or maybe when you're in high school and now you're in college and you've never had any other job outside of retail? Should you include that on your resume if you're applying for a finance job? And my response to that is yes, you should definitely include that, because most of the time when you're working in retail, you're dealing with a lot of customers, right? So you have to learn how to communicate with the customer. This shows that you have a great communication skills, because you're, communicating with customers, maybe hundreds a day, depending on where you worked. And when it comes to finance, most of the time you're probably crunching numbers and all of that. But at the end of the day, someone needs to be able to understand those numbers, right? So you might have to end up explaining it to someone who has no idea what the numbers mean. So that's where the communication skills come in. And lastly, it's going to be problem solving skills, right? So if you work in retail, you've probably had a lot of customers that come in complaining about, just different things, and you've had to solve that problem for them, right? And I guess what? In finance, it's all about problem solving. We're always solving problems every single day. You're always solving your problems. All right, so to sum this up, don't be afraid to include your retail or any other job experience that you have. You just got to be able to show that you've learned finance skills in that job, such as communication, problem solving skills, and things like that. But that is pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you guys think, if you think anything else needs to be added. But that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.